Ladies and gentlemen, Anri Kurikaze. That's Strange Ninjask. Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with Let's Play Pokemon Fire Red Omega the Metroid run. Sorry, I had to remember what game this was. And you may notice there is a distinct and complete lack of any sound. That's because my XSplit, when I was editing this together, apparently ate all of the sound when I re-recorded it. Had I been paying attention and double-checked it, I would have stopped that from happening, but that's not what happened. Okay, Shade here just evolved into Crobat. As I recall, he was only a Golbat for one level before he hit that new evolution, sorry. So, you're getting a nice dose of Post-Commentary Kyrix. I'm going to try and remember everything. Here I am showing off all the Pokemon levels. And I think I was going to show the PC levels and just opted against it. But, let's see. What do I talk about? This is the problem. With post-commentary, I never know what to talk about. At least when it's live, I can talk about the game. Anyway, going to show off some of Fee's nice level 25 power. And here's a Thunder Punch. A Golbat destroying Thunder Punch at that. And those are always fun. At least when it's not your Golbat. Yeah, originally Ghost types were supposed to be strong against Psychics. And despite what somebody said, I think it was Jaywitz, actually, from YouTube. He does a lot of Pokemon stuff. It was either him or Tamashi, but I think it was Jaywitz. Anyway, he was saying that originally Ghost types weren't strong against Psychics, or weren't supposed to be. But I distinctly remember in the instruction book, at least in the American version, that they were. So my guess is he might have been talking about the Japanese version. The downside is, no one stopped to consider that even if Ghost types were strong against Psychics, all the Ghost types that existed in Red, Blue, Yellow were also Poison types, which are decidedly not strong against Psychics. And luckily for me, that little tangent got me through the rival battle. So up yours, rival. Go away. Oddly enough, despite him bushwhacking me like that in the last episode, he never gets as bad as May. At least not to my memory. But then again, May in my what was it, the Stars Challenge video, she literally had a team that was entirely devoted towards destroying my soul Pokemon. So at least there was an excuse as to why I lost so much to May. It's basically like she built her team specifically to fight my Pokemon. And it was similar in the Emerald 6 run, because my team was so ground heavy that water types and grass types just ate me alive. And because I chose Mudkip as my starter, she had a frickin' Groovile. Well, anyway, here I am doing the Nugget Bridge run. Oh, this feels so weird and so stupid without sound. But I'm long since past this point, so it's not like I can record it again. If I'd been paying attention, something I will do more closely from here on out, I will make sure this never happens again, because what happens is when I re-record... Alright, to explain, you saw those two Pokemon evolutions, and I almost said elevations again, at the beginning of the video. When I'm doing my grinding, I will record that bit, plus any commentary or whatever. And then I'll record my episode, and then I will, through XSplit, I will load them all up into a media player, one of my many video viewers, and I will watch the whole thing through while putting the screen into XSplit. Oh god, I need to watch this screen. But then what I do is I just hit record, and it records. And 99% of the time it works out fine. And then you have that 1% where it does this and eats sound. But sometimes it doesn't eat all the sound. Like I have a Transformers War for Cybertron one where it only ate the last 10-20 minutes of sound, you know? But still, it's something I gotta redub. I'm not looking forward to it. Because I didn't do good commentary on that in the first place. Honestly, in fact, my commentary on that was so bad that part of me is tempted to just do it all as post-commentary. Because when I'm playing the game, I'm focused so much on it that I don't talk. But here I am taking on Misty with the help of Fee, the awesome little war sheep. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Misty and I have history. Because when I first got my Pokemon games, I had both of them, blue and red. But I played blue first, and my starter was Charmander because, well, it looked the least stupid and it was fire, you know? When in doubt, go with the thing that burns. And I was an idiot, and I'd never, ever thought to space out my training. I used what I used, and that was all, you know? Oh, God. About to lose Fee. But anyway, that's basically how I worked it. I would exclusively use the my starter to the exclusion of everything else. So as a result, my starter was ridiculously powerful. Until I hit Misty. And that stupid Starmie of hers. It was so powerful it would literally only take one Bubble Beam to drop me. So I just kept leveling Charmander. I gave a shot at leveling other things, but I didn't have the patience for it because they were all so weak compared to what I was fighting. Long story short, I had a Charizard by the time I left Cerulean City. Alright, Shade, don't let me down, buddy. Misty, you're such a bitch. Yeah, roleplay, that's a move I never knew existed, really. Get used to Shade, because he's going to be a mainstay on my team. I think the only time he's ever not been on my team is when I emptied the party to catch specific Pokemon. And even then, I think he was on the team. So, he's almost definitely going to be part of my Elite Four team. Fee also has a slot, and so does Puka. The other three are still undecided at this point. I'm going to try and work Henri in there just because YouTube, you know? But, let's be honest, I don't think the Ninjas can do anything that the other three can't. At least not in a role that I need done. But hey, you never know, we'll see. It also depends on what my rival's team looks like by the time I hit the Elite Four. Because if he's got a really strong Psychic type, I might need Henri. But then again, I might be able to accomplish the same thing with Godzilla using Crunch, so... Like I said, we'll see how it works. My voice sucks. It's not because I'm sick this time. It's just my throat's really dry, because I don't really hydrate well enough. I really don't. I don't drink enough. And yesterday was pretty awesome, actually. I had a big barbecue event with a bunch of my friends. And again, I didn't drink enough. And I coupled that with eating a bunch of food, so my throat's like punishing me now. Okay, got a drink of water. That doesn't seem to have helped much, but it's a little better. And the funny thing is, I always think my voice sounds horrible, and When I hear the recordings, it doesn't sound as bad as it sounded when I said it. I'm not saying that I'm the voice of an angel or anything, but it's nowhere near as bad as it should be. And that, by the way, I just talked over it, was me showing off how retardedly fast Henri and Shade both were. And the fact that Henri was gaining speed much higher than Shade. I think during his training, he was gaining like +5 to his speed stat in every battle, and it was just ridiculous. In a good way, though. In a good way. But anyway, if my video is a little long at the end, it'll probably be because I didn't realize that I was cutting off there. Because this is not running through a media player. This is running through, well, I guess XSplit kind of is any media player, but not in the way that, like, Windows Media Player or VLC or VCL, whatever it is. But I don't really have a progress bar telling me how much of the video is left, you know? Suppose I could open the little mini window and see the progress bar. Yeah, that's better. I can do that. I'm about halfway through at that point. But, in case any of you are wondering, the barbecue went off fairly well, almost without a hitch. 4 people we were expecting didn't show up for work. One of them forgot, and one of them had his car towed, you know? The guy who was bringing the charcoal and doing the cooking didn't show up until, like, 2 hours after he was supposed to. But we all had fun. We played HeroClix, played some Mega Man card game, hung out, talked, ate food, threw a football around. It was just a good day. It was fun for the whole group. Okay, I suppose I should talk some more about Pokemon. The fact that this is post-commentary actually gives me a chance to commentate on my friends' videos. Because I've been watching everybody's videos. Anubis and I have not yet recorded this week's episode. We were going to a couple days ago. I think Saturday we were going to put it up. But I was leveling his Pokemon, and he kept having me catch new ones that needed more leveling, you know? Because when you catch a Pokemon off screen, you are allowed to give it its 5 levels because it's between videos, you know? But the problem is, what should have been me leveling 3 or 4 Pokemon turned into me leveling like 7 or 8. And he had to go, so we need to get that done. And I still need to level those up for him, but when that happens, I'll get him over here, we'll record the episode, have it up as quick as possible. Henri, Mario Yoshi, and I all came to the conclusion pretty much at the same video that this whole system of mine that you're allowed to have 5 levels off screen sucks. It doesn't suck in the way that it's a bad idea. It is. It sucks on a logistical standpoint because by the end of the game, we've all got 17 Pokemon that need 5 levels every turn. That's 85 off-screen levels. That's a lot. And that is the main reason why I, to this day, have not recorded past Gym 4. I'm going to, don't worry. I'm just waiting on my new control to arrive because the one I have isn't very reliable. And when my new controllers get here, I'm going to get right on that. I'm also going to work on Battle Network 2 and probably Final Fantasy V. I got to finish that. That was my very first Let's Play, and it's still not done. I mostly blame Fraps for that, because Fraps... I don't know if I described Fraps before on a video that I've shown, because I've described it in other videos, but I don't know which ones have aired, you know? Because, let you in on a little secret, I have between 17 and 21 Let's Plays recorded on this computer in various states of being done that aren't on YouTube yet. I have a big backlog, mostly half finished. I gotta get back and finish all of them, but and I talk about all sorts of things depending on what time of day it is and whatnot. So most of what you hear is going to be horribly out of date, but I don't remember what I said when, you know? But here's how Fraps works. The problem with Fraps, while it does do good quality, it doesn't compile properly. So this video here, which might be a couple hundred meg on a normal recorder, or it might be like 85 meg on mine, on XSplit, would be something in the neighborhood of 5 to 12 gigabytes on Fraps. So whenever I made a recording on Fraps, it was a daily event, because I would record about an hour of Final Fantasy V, which would be 20 to 30 gigabytes, which means I had to clear a chunk of space off my hard drive. And that took an hour of my day to record it. Then I would have to convert it from an MP4 into something else. Took another 5 minutes. Load it into my editing software, which took another 10 minutes. Resave the file, which took another hour. Upload it to YouTube, which took another 20 minutes. Download it from YouTube as another MP4, another half hour. And then put it back on YouTube. So when all is said and done, I've lost between 3 and 5 hours to record a single hour-long video. Not to mention I had to clear off a chunk of my hard drive, so I wouldn't make more than one video a day. Whereas with XSplit, it's such a good system that I can literally marathon an entire Let's Play in a day if it's not too long. Like I did Resident Evil Revelations over the course of 2 long recording sessions. I would take breaks, like I'd take a bathroom break or a snack break in between videos. And sometimes I wouldn't even do that. But it was basically, I'd get up, I'd get ready, I'd record for about 5-6 hours, then I'd stop, and then the next day I did the same thing. You know? So XSplit's a much better recording system, and it's mostly because of Fraps that I never got Final Fantasy V done. I had between 1 and 3 videos already recorded on XSplit, but the problem is I was still doing most of my videos as quote-unquote live recordings, where I would record them within a day or two of them going on YouTube, so I still had so many active projects that took precedence that Final Fantasy V got bumped into the background further and further. And then I'd have games like XCOM or Pokemon Conquest that I had to get done, and that pushed it back. Or I'd get a new game like, oh, I gotta do Transformers. So I will eventually get around to it. And I'm gonna warn you now, it's not of the best quality because first off, as my very first Let's Play, I didn't really have a handle on what I was doing. Second off, I did too much grinding. I did a lot of fast-forward off-screen grinding to get all the jobs maxed out, which had the unfortunate implications of, within the first quarter of the game, getting me to levels that I was supposed to be at, beyond what I was supposed to be at to beat the game. Like, you're supposed to be able to beat it at like 45, 47 or something. I was level 50 by like episode 6. And that might, well, yeah, that's actually a lot sooner because I forgot I didn't have as many episodes. I think I'm only got like 11 recorded. So yeah, I was way over leveled. But I figure I put all the work into it, and it was my very first Let's Play. Whatever fans I have deserve the chance to see it, you know? And I will finish it. I don't want to be the guy who doesn't finish a Let's Play, you know? Which is why all of my stuff's pre-recorded, because if you pre-record it, there's never a chance that it won't be done. Because if episode 1's on YouTube, that means the last episode is ready and ready to go, you know? Ooh, Psychic, that's a good move. Also, I love the fact that Gardevoir learns Magical Leaf, just to mix her up a little bit, you know? Well, not Gardevoir, but, you know, the Gardevoir family. I love that they learn Magical Leaf, just to give them a little bit of flavor. Did I just compare them to a salad? It's possible. There's Spinda, the Pokemon that's interesting, but nobody likes. It's mostly interesting because of the fact that no two Spindas look alike until you get into billions of Spinda. Basically, you could spend all day catching Pokemon, catching Spinda, fill your party and all of your boxes to the brim with Spindas, and you might never have an identical one. You know? Which is a cool concept. Unfortunately, it's wasted on a Pokemon that sucks. You know, that nobody likes. And speaking for myself, I think it's mostly because Spinda's a normal type, which normal types have a bad rep. They're kind of bland. They don't really specialize in anything. But it's mostly because, to me, they are they don't evolve. But anyway, that's my cutoff point, it seems. So I'm Kyrix, and this has been Let's Play Pokemon Fire Red Omega, the Metroid run, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.